Peter Holley was Cedric Holley's son. Now, what I have heard, and I don't know if it's true or fiction, but Cedric Holley left Germany alone and came to Ireland. He married my great grandmother.
Nancy McCall.
No, he married, again, I'm talking about Holley,
Oh, yeah.
not McCullough. And they settled in Kentucky. Then they had three boys. One was Peter Holley. I don't know what the other two's names were, but Peter Holley walked from Kentucky to South Alabama and built his own cotton gin. And he ginned cotton the rest of his life. His brother walked to South Carolina. They have never heard from him since. His other brother went to Detroit, Michigan. And as I understand it, his son developed the Holley carburetor. Now that's something you can check
Right.
and find out if that's true or not. And if you can get in touch with him or his son, I know his dad may be dead now, I don't know.
Right.
Because his dad would probably be my age.
Right.
And, but anyway, that's as far as I got. Then, I then kept up. Peter Holley then had one child, which was John, my granddaddy, and then Daddy, and then Lloyd, and then you kids. I'm right now putting together my sixth generation. Peter Holley I have a picture of. John Holley I have a picture of. Clem Holley I have a picture of. Myself I have a picture of. Danny and Daniel.
Eric did that for Dad.
They have the 5th generation.
Right.
I'm going for 6,
Okay.
which would include Daniel.
Right. Well, Eric was.
If you get the picture together, you have to send us a copy.
Yeah,
I got
Eric Blaine would be 6.
Right.
Yeah. All they have to do is add Blaine to it.
Right.
Yep. Okay.
Now you were talking to a woman
Can you stand up?
in Nova Scotia, weren't you?
I've got to go to the bathroom so I can bathe.
Didn't you contact someone in Nova
Sit up on the
Scotia
SBC.
that was doing genealogy?
There you go. Now put your hands.
Yeah, I did it one time, but I
One
lost
hand right up
contact.
here.
Oh,
Yeah, there was a girl up there
Hand
that
right
was
up here.
going to help me
Okay, all right.
do the whole damn thing, but I
On
lost
3.
contact.
Ready?
now
1,
there's different spellings
3.
of the name.
Here we go.
Do you know
There we
where
go.
Holly originated?
There we
No,
go.
hell, we could be Hollenberger, I don't know. We may be
it came
Jewish.
from
Okay, got it?
down in the holler,
Now we're going to go straight ahead.
because they lived in a
Straight
holler.
ahead. That's
Yeah,
right.
could
Straight
be.
ahead.
So that's where it originated.
Straight ahead.
And it's German and Irish. So I was wanting to see McCullough,
Now, wait, McCullough is,
Let's pull it over this way just a little bit.
Scottish or Irish.
the McCulloughs though were from Granddaddy Holly's wife's family.
Thank you.
That's where
Minnie Lee.
John Holley married Nancy McCullough.
There you go.
That's it.
Daddy, Clem Holley, married Minnie Lee Wise, W-I-S-E.
Right.
All the Wises that live down around Pascagoula, Gulfport, Mississippi, are all your relatives.
I've been there to the house, and they went out shrimping.
Oh,
And
that
brought-
was Uncle Lincoln.
Yes.
That was Uncle Lincoln.
Okay, I found a census where they came around and did the census,
Yeah,
and it had Granddaddy Holly, John, and
John,
Minnie Lee,
yeah. No,
And-
John.
and you and Dad and Nate Ivo
Yeah,
had the ages, and it had Lincoln that lived in Pascagoula.
Lincoln Wise.
Yeah. And he was
20
like
wise.
16 or 17. And Dad said that's when he came to help with the crops because everybody, was young, the kids.
Okay, now wait, we're ahead of ourselves. Monroe Wise is my mother's father. He was married, and his wife died.
What was her name?
I don't know what her name was.
See, I can't find out what her name is.
Okay, but that's Monroe Wise. That's my mother's family.
Okay.
And that's where the Lincoln, Curtis, and Dewey Wise was all her brothers. L.M. Wise was her baby brother,
Yeah. He
lived
was,
in Rome, Georgia. And I knew him well. He worked for Sears.
right, I knew it.
And he was a warehouse manager in Rome, Georgia. So when I was a national sales manager for Sears in Chicago, I came to Rome, Georgia. And the store manager met me at the airport and wanted to know what I wanted to do first. I said, the first thing I want to do is go see my uncle. He said, my God, where's your uncle? I said, in your warehouse. He said, who? I said, L.M. Wise. Oh my God, he said, is that your uncle? I said, it's my mother's baby brother. And we went down and L.M. was driving a damn forklift, and I walked in the front door, and he saw me. Boy, he came off that damn forklift, came down, and I took he and the store manager to lunch together, and we hit it off real well. But that was L.M. He went through the entire World War II.
Now, remember they gave Dad J.R.
Yeah.
Lloyd.
Yeah, Lloyd.
Do you know what the J.R. stands for?
No.
John Robert Rogers. John Rogers or Roberts? He was a famous pilot in World War I.
I did not know that.
Yes. And Maddox, Martha Maddox's husband, I
Yeah.
can't think of his name right now. I want to say John. But, so Martha's husband, Maddox, he flew or was part of, he was close with John Rogers. And he was a famous pilot.
Okay.
So when Dad was born, it was just a few years later. I'm sure that's why she gave him JR.
May have been. I have
Just
no
the
idea.
initials.
But see now, we're talking about two different Maddoxes. The Maddox I'm talking about was with the Mad Dog Indians on the Mississippi River. And he left there and came back to Zion Chapel, Alabama.
Oh.
And I've got a picture of him. He got a long beard, about this long. And he was a part of the Mad Dog Indians, but now that was on Granny Holley's side, the McCullough side.
So we do have American Indian in us.
What is
Could be, I don't know.
what is Mad Dog Indians? What were they?
I
Who were
don't
they?
know.
Who were the Mad Dog Indians?
Who were they?
Yeah, what were they? Was it
I don't know what tribe or who they were with, other than it was the Mad Dog Indian tribe that lived on the Mississippi River.
okay?
But I don't know if they were ever attached to any big tribe, you know, like the Navajo or
Right.
Cherokee or any of those.
So you don't think he could have fought in the war?
I don't know. You know, he could have. That's
So
possible.
John and Martha Maddox.
I don't know. But
There's a headstone down at the old graveyard.
where?
At the old graveyard down in Coffee County.
Not Pleasant Ridge.
Where Granny and Nate Ovals been.
That's Pleasant Ridge.
Okay.
Maddox
Ray
is
took
there.
photos of
Yeah.
all the headstones, the names and
Yeah.
dates,
Yeah.
and there is a Maddox.
Yeah, that's right.
There is a Maddox buried there in that
Yeah.
cemetery. I know that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Goodson's and Maddox's and McCullough's, you know, your great granddaddy McCullough is the one that donated the land for that cemetery.
I went to his 69th birthday party. No, that was Wise. I'm sorry.
That's wise.
Yeah, that was Wise.
Yeah.
He had 13 kids or 18 kids.
18.
Yeah.
That was your grandmother's dad,
Yeah.
Monroe Wise.
Okay.
He owned 1,800 acres of land in Sampson, Alabama. And the last land he bought before he died, before 1929, he bought 120 acres from a lady, a widow, that her husband had just died. And they went to the closing, and she asked him a question at closing that I thought was a jewel, brother. She said, "Mr. Wise, are you trying to buy all of the land in the state of Alabama?" He said, "No, ma'am. I just want all of the land that adjoins my land."
That's a good one.
I thought it was a real jewel.
Yes.
But then during 1929, he had 1,800 acres of land. He had about 20 head of mules and horses for farming, had all the farming equipment. He had about 200 head of hogs, about 500 head of cattle. He had 500 bales of cotton in his own warehouse. And he lost the whole damn thing.
Depression.
The bank depression, 1929 depression, took it all. He left there and went back to Florida and started picking oranges. And then he got, too old to do that. And Daddy moved him into the house right below us down on the old Fuller place. And I never will forget one time, he used to always come up to the house and, look after me when I was just a small kid. And he and I were out by the barn one day, and he left to just sit and doodle in the sand. And we were sitting there, just squatted down. He was doodling in the sand. Here comes a damn seed salesman up. Now, I will never in my life forget this. We're sitting there, and this seed salesman comes up, sells a little package of seeds, Said, "What about some seed today?" And Grandpa said, "No, I don't think so." He said, "Mister, I've got any kind of seed you want, and if I don't have it on me, I can get it. Tell me what you want." Granddaddy Wise said, "Okay, I want 1 package of wheelbarrow seed, and I want 2 packages of sweet smelling assholes." God damn, that guy turned and you could see the dust as he was leaving. I thought I would roll in that damn sand. And Granddad just looked at me, not a damn smile on his face, and we got rid of him, didn't we? Oh my God, but he was a catcher.
that's a great
We
story.
went to, and I think the time you're thinking about it, he wasn't 65 years old.
69.
He was 92 years old.
See, I kept saying 96 because they turned the cake around.
It was
and
92 years old, and he came out to cut the cake.
Yeah.
And he said, no, you've got that backwards.
Yeah.
He said, no,
20.
it should be 29 years old.
Right. I knew it was something like
That
that.
was what it was all about, and that was
Okay.
Granddaddy Wise.
And it was just a big yard, and it had no trees.
Nothing.
Because it was hot.
And when Danny was born in 1960, Loney was his third or fourth wife's name. I don't know which one
Loney
it was.
Ann.
Huh?
It's Loney Ann.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Bunch of names.
Okay. When Bess and I went by to see Danny, and she was pregnant. So Loney said, okay, Papa, she called Granddaddy Wise Papa. Papa wants you to send us a picture of Danny now with the baby when it's born. We did. Baby was born, we sent them a picture of Danny. Well, Loney got the damn picture and opened up the note that Bess had sent her. Got that damn picture, she run out to show Granddaddy even in the backyard. She fell down the damn steps and broke her arm. Well, about 2 weeks later, we get a damn blue blanket in the mail. They had bought him a blanket and mailed it to him.
Oh.
A little blanket. And Danny carried that damn blanket with him.
I remember that.
He called it my banky.
Yeah.
Okay, we moved to Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, that was beautiful. I was just
Bess
telling you.
tried to throw the damn blanket away in Atlanta. He wouldn't let her. She gets to Richmond. She puts it in the garbage can. It was just nothing but threads.
I know.
Because he carried it with him every place he went. He drug it all around the yard. And he ran outside, and damn garbage truck came. He ran outside and got that damn blanket out of the garbage truck. And by God, he wasn't going to get rid of that blanket.
Oh, I remember it.
And then finally one day, he was asleep or something. The government came to Beth, ran out with that damn blanket and got rid of it.
In Richmond, Virginia, when we were there visiting.
Yeah, Richard.
You had that
You also
mean
came,
pony.
Yeah, little pony. He was mean as hell.
Yeah, I tried to bite you.
Called him Shorty.
And there was 2 trees just wide enough for him to run through.
Yeah.
And when you got on him, he headed straight for those 2 trees.
He knew
man.
he'd
He
knock
was.
you off.
He
Yeah.
was meaner than a snake. Danny got on him one time, and he started running, and he just kept running and running, jumped in the damn crib.
Yeah.
And I was right behind him, just running as hard as I could. And I ran, and I just knew he just stomped the hell out of Danny. I got in there, Danny was still on his back. He said, "Me held on." Danny boy. Well, we already called him Danny boy.
That's why.
To the point that when he went to school, we moved to Chicago. The first school he ever went to, and he went in, and the teacher asked him, "What's your name?" He said, "Danny." "Now, what's your last name?" He said, "Boy." That's all he ever knew. Danny boy.
That's what we always call him. That's,
Yeah. What's your name, Danny? What's your last name, boy?
what was your position there in Chicago?
I was the national retail sales manager for Sears.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And you went from there.
I came from there back to Atlanta
Okay.
just to get back to the South. That was a kind of a lateral move.
Right.
When
And
I
then
came
from-
back to the South, and I was put in charge of opening new stores
Okay.
until they got a store ready for me. Brunswick, Georgia came open,
I remember.
and
that.
I went in as a general manager for the store in Brunswick. And then the vice president of the Southern Territory, Ray Prado, was in Cuba. And when Castro took over Cuba, they moved him back to Miami and gave him the Miami group as general manager, group manager. Well, he moved from there to Atlanta as vice president for the Southern Territory. We had a big meeting one day in Atlanta, and I was in Brunswick. And he was sitting next to me having dinner. And he started asking me questions about Brunswick. And I'd answer his questions, you know. Well, after dinner, he got up to speak. And he told all the other store managers, he said, I met one man in this damn crowd that knows how to read a P&L. And about 2 months after that, I was promoted to general manager of the new store, largest store in the Southeast in Orlando, Florida, that opened in April of 1974. I opened the store.
And Disney World opened around there, didn't it?
Just before that.
Because I took Debbie and Danny and Eric and Kay.
Yeah.
I drove them to Disney World.
Disney World, yeah.
Because Dad came to visit you because you'd had surgery or something.
I had a damn kidney stone removed, yeah.
There you go.
Well,
Yeah. And
Disney World.
when Danny used to, I swear he was the damn guide for Disney World. Everybody came down, wanted to go to Disney World, and Danny's the one I'd send.
He was there when it opened.
Oh yeah. And I'm telling you, it was a fun trip though. We had a party one time, and I had a swimming pool where I lived in.
I remember, I
April.
screened in.
And so it was the fall of the year, and the water was cool. So rather than try to ice down all the beer, I just bought about 10 cases of damn beer, just dumped it in the swimming pool. So anybody wanted a beer, Danny would dive down and get them a beer. That kept him busy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, kept them entertained.
Oh, that's
A
great.
lot of fun we had, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a little story about Danny though. On that 1974, I bought a brand new Cadillac, sedan DeVille. So Danny came in one day and he wondered if he could borrow the car Friday night to go on a date. I said, sure, as long as you do two things. Sure. I said, okay, you cut the grass, which we had a riding lawnmower, you know, there was nothing cutting the grass. And number two is you get your hair cut. Well, about Thursday, Bess called me. She said, what are you going to do about Danny? I said, what about it? And she said, well, he cut the grass, but he has not gotten a haircut. I said, you say nothing. Leave it be. Okay, every night when I would come in, Bess and I would sit and I'd have 2 martinis. So that's Friday night. She and I are sitting there listening to the records. I was having my martinis, and Danny came popping in, and he was on one foot and on the other foot. And finally he said, Dad, can I borrow the car? And I said, no. Well, why? And I said, John, you did one of the 2 things I asked you to do. You cut the grass, but you did not cut your hair. He said, Dad, everybody at school has long hair. I said, son, everybody at school don't live in this house. Oh my God, even the football players have long hair. I said, son, the football players don't live here. And then he just fit to be tied, brother. He came up with this one. He said, even Jesus Christ had long hair. I said, yes, he did, son, and he walked a lot. Damn, Bess flew off that couch into the kitchen. And I just sat there, and boy, Danny went to his room. I never heard another damn word out of him.
Oh, my
Bess
God.
came back and she said, where in the world did you come up with that? I said, hell, I don't know. I was trapped. I had to come up with something. And then he tell that story today.
Yeah,
I never heard that one.
Yep.
that's a great story, and even
Yep.
Jesus walked
He
a lot.
walks a lot.
Yes, he does.
And he didn't get the car either.
Nope.
The next weekend, he asked me again, like Monday or Tuesday, Dad, can I have the car this weekend? I said, if you get your hair cut and cut the grass again. Well, this time he cuts his hair, has his hair cut and all trimmed up and everything, and he goes out, and David comes out, and he starts chasing David in the damn riding lawnmower. And David would do a quick turn, and then he'd do the quick turn, he'd dig right into the damn grass. My grass looked like it'd been cut with a damn weed eater.
Jeez.
I came home and I was fit to be tied, but I didn't say anything. He cut it, so I didn't. The damages, grow out eventually. So he came in that day and said, Dad, can I have the car? I said, yes, but the next time you damage my goddamn lawn like that, you'll never get the car again. And but I let him have it that time.